Dr. Minji Park stepped off the transport shuttle and felt the warm air of Kepler 442c hit her face. The jungle planet was beautiful. Green trees stretched as far as she could see. Strange purple flowers bloomed everywhere. The air smelled sweet and fresh. "Stay close to the team," Captain Donghyun Lee said over the radio. His voice was calm but serious. "We don't know what we're dealing with here." Minji nodded and checked her scanner. She was the best xenobiologist on the research ship Resilience. Her job was to study alien life forms. Today might be the most important day of her career. The signals they picked up from this planet suggested intelligent life. Real aliens. The team walked through the thick jungle for 2 hours. Woojin Kim, the chief engineer, complained about the heat. Jisoo Han, the communications officer, kept checking her equipment. Everyone was nervous and excited. Then they saw it. A massive structure rose from the jungle floor. It looked like a giant beehive made of black crystal. The surface was smooth and reflected the sunlight in strange patterns. Holes in the walls showed movement inside. "My God," Minji whispered. "It's actually real." Captain Lee raised his hand. The team stopped moving. "Jisoo, try to make contact." Jisoo worked on her communication device. She sent out basic mathematical signals. Prime numbers. Simple addition. The universal language of intelligence. A sound came from the hive. It was like singing mixed with clicking. Beautiful but alien. Then a voice spoke through Jisoo's translator. "We hear you, strange ones. We wish to see you." Captain Lee looked at his team. "This is it." First contact. Everyone stay calm. 3 creatures came out of the hive. They walked on 6 legs like giant insects. Their bodies were covered in hard black shells. Multiple eyes glowed purple on their heads. They were as tall as humans but much wider. The largest one stepped forward. When it spoke, the translator made it sound like a woman's voice. "I am Sithra, leader of this hive. You are not from our world. What are you?" "We are humans," Captain Lee said. "We come from a planet far away. We mean no harm. We want to learn about you." Sithra's eyes studied each human carefully. "Humans, yes, we have heard stories of your kind. You travel between stars in metal ships. You are curious creatures." Minji stepped forward. She couldn't help herself. This was the moment she had dreamed of since childhood. "We study life from other worlds," she said. "Your species is amazing. We have never seen anything like your hive." "You may call us Velnari," Sithara said. "We are also curious about you. Your biology is uninteresting." The other 2 Velnari moved closer. They made clicking sounds to each other. Minji noticed they moved in perfect coordination, like they shared the same mind. "Would you like to see some of our technology?" Sithara asked. "We create many wonderful things." Captain Lee looked uncertain. "That's very kind, but we should be careful." "Please," Minji said. "This is why we came here. To learn." Sithara made a sound that might have been laughter. One of the other Velnari went back into the hive. It came back carrying a crystal device. The object was beautiful. It looked like a flower made of blue glass. Light moved inside it in slow waves. "This is a bioharmonizer," Sithara explained. "It reads the life energy of any creature. Very useful for understanding new species." The device was incredibly beautiful. Minji had never seen anything like it. The crystal seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat. The light inside swirled like liquid stars. "How does it work?" she asked. "Simply touch it," Sithara said. "It will not harm you. It only reads and learns." Captain Lee stepped forward. "Maybe I should—" "No, it's okay," Minji said. She was already reaching toward the device. Her scientific curiosity was stronger than her caution. "I study alien biology. This is what I do." The moment her fingers touched the crystal surface, something went wrong. The device stuck to her hand. Not just stuck. It was like her skin had become part of the crystal. She tried to pull away, but her hand wouldn't move. The crystal grew warm, then hot. "What's happening?" she gasped. Sithara's eyes glowed brighter. The other Velnari made excited clicking sounds. Their behavior changed completely. They were no longer friendly visitors. They looked like predators. "Excellent," Sithara said. "The bioglue has formed perfect molecular bonds with your tissue. You cannot escape." Captain Lee drew his weapon. "Release her now." "I'm afraid that's impossible," Sithara said. Her voice was different now, cold and cruel. "The bioglue creates permanent bonds at the molecular level. No force in the galaxy can break them without destroying both the device and the attached flesh." Minji pulled with all her strength. The crystal device didn't move even a tiny bit. It was like her hand had been welded to it. Worse, she could feel something flowing from the device into her arm, a cold, draining sensation. "You tricked us," Captain Lee said. "We are collectors," Cythera explained. "We travel the galaxy finding new species. Rare creatures bring great value in the slave markets. Humans are particularly exotic. We have never captured one before." More Velnari came out of the hive, dozens of them. They surrounded the human team. Their eyes glowed with hunger. "Your friend has a choice," Cythera continued. "She can sever her arm and live as our pet, or she can die slowly as the bioharmonizer drains her life energy to power our ship. The process takes approximately 72 hours. Woojin Kim raised his weapon, but there were too many aliens. The team was completely outnumbered. "There is a third option," Cythera said. "The rest of you can surrender peacefully. We will make your deaths quick and painless. Your friend will still die, but you won't have to watch." "Never," Captain Lee said. Cythera made that laughing sound again. "We have collected 47 species over the centuries." They all said the same thing at first. "But when death approaches, survival instinct takes over. You will beg us to cut off her arm before the end." The Velnari began moving back toward their hive. They moved in that same perfect coordination, like parts of a single mind. "We will return in 1 hour for your answer," Cythera called. "Consider carefully. The bioglue is already beginning its work." The aliens disappeared into their hive. The humans were left alone in the jungle. Minji looked at her trapped hand. The crystal device was glowing brighter now. She could feel her strength starting to fade. "We need to get back to the ship," Captain Lee said. "Now." As they hurried through the jungle, Minji stumbled. The device was getting heavier. Or maybe she was getting weaker. Either way, she knew the countdown had begun. 72 hours to live. Unless they found a way to do the impossible. The medical bay of the Resilience was crowded with people and equipment. Dr. Minji Park sat on the examination table, while every scanner and probe on the ship pointed at her trapped arm. The crystal device glowed with a steady blue light. It had been 18 hours since the accident. "Anything?" Captain Donghyun Lee asked. Dr. Hiram Choi looked up from her readings. She was the ship's physicist and one of the smartest people Minji knew. If anyone could solve this problem, it would be her. "The molecular bonds are unlike anything in our database," Hiram said. "The crystal seems to be made of organic silicon compounds. But they're arranged in impossible patterns. According to our physics, this structure shouldn't be stable." Chief Engineer Woojin Kim was working on a different angle. He had taken apart 3 different cutting tools and was building something new. "What about brute force?" Captain Lee asked. "Can we cut through it?" "I tried 17 different approaches," Woojin said. "Laser cutters, plasma torches, molecular saws. The crystal absorbs the energy and gets stronger. It's like trying to cut diamond with a butter knife." Minji felt weaker than before. The device was slowly draining her life force. She could feel it happening like water flowing out of a broken bucket. But she refused to give up. "There has to be something," she said. "Every problem has a solution." Lieutenant Jisoo Han was at her communication station. She had been working non-stop to contact other species. Her job was to find anyone who had dealt with the Velnari before. "I found something," Jisoo announced. "The Zephyrian archives have records of Velnari activities. Sending it to the main screen now." The wall display showed alien text with translations. Jisoo read the important parts out loud. 12 different species have encountered Velnari bioweapons. The hegemony of worlds issued warnings about their collection methods. All previous victims chose amputation or death. "All of them?" Captain Lee asked. "Every single one," Jisoo confirmed. "The Velnari have been using this trap for over 200 years. No one has ever escaped with their limb intact." The room fell quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing. If 12 advanced alien civilizations couldn't solve this problem, what chance did humans have? But Minji noticed something strange. When she felt angry or frustrated, the crystal device seemed to pulse differently. The steady blue light would flicker for just a moment. "Hiram," she said. "Can you scan my neural implant?" Every human in space had a neural implant. It helped them communicate with ship computers and translate alien languages. Minji's implant was more advanced because of her work with alien biology. "Why?" Hiram asked. "I think the device is reacting to my emotions. When I get upset, something changes." Hiram ran a detailed scan. Her eyes went wide when she saw the results. "This is incredible," she said. "Your neural implant is creating electrical interference with the crystal. The bioglue is trying to adapt to it." Medical Officer Sun Ho Yoon joined the discussion. He had been monitoring Minji's vital signs since they returned to the ship. Human neural activity is different from other species, he explained. We generate unique bioelectric patterns. Our brains work in ways that most aliens can't understand. Navigation Officer Kyung-Min Park had been quietly studying the crystal device. He was good at seeing patterns that others missed. I think the device is learning, he said. Look at these energy readings. The crystal is studying Minji's biology and adapting its bonds accordingly. Learning what? Captain Lee asked. How to be a better trap, Kyung-Min replied. The longer it stays attached, the more it understands human physiology. That's why it gets harder to remove over time. This was bad news, but it gave them important information. The device wasn't just a simple tool. It was an intelligent system that could change and grow. Tactical Officer Yoon Song had been listening to everything. She was trained to think about problems in military terms. If it's learning from Minji, she said, then we need to teach it something it can't handle. Like what? Woojin asked. Human stubbornness, Yoonji replied. Every other species that faced this problem accepted defeat. They approached it logically. But humans don't think like that. Dr. Choi was running more scans. She discovered something interesting about the crystal's structure. The bioglue operates on quantum principles, she announced. The molecular bonds exist in multiple states at once. That's why conventional tools can't cut them. They're not fully real until observed. Minji didn't understand quantum physics very well, but she knew it was important. Quantum mechanics dealt with the strange behavior of very small particles, things that could be in two places at once, effects that happened faster than light. Could we use quantum interference? She asked. Maybe, Hiram said. But we would need a quantum field generator powerful enough to disrupt molecular bonds. We don't have that kind of equipment. Security Chief Min-ho Kang had been standing guard outside the medical bay. He came in to report that the Velnari ship was still in orbit above them. They're waiting, he said, probably expecting us to give up soon. Captain Lee checked the time. 48 hours remaining. They were running out of time fast. What if we don't need a quantum field generator? Minji asked suddenly. What if we already have one? Everyone looked at her like she was crazy. Your neural implant, she explained. Sunho said human brains generate unique bioelectric patterns. What if those patterns can create quantum effects? Dr. Choi thought about this idea. Human consciousness was still a mystery in many ways. Scientists knew that the brain used electrical signals, but they didn't fully understand how thoughts and emotions worked. It's possible, she admitted. Human consciousness might operate on quantum principles. Some theories suggest that free will and creativity come from quantum processes in the brain. But one person's neural activity wouldn't be enough, Sunho pointed out. You would need much more power. Botanist Dr. Yuna Lim had been quiet during most of the discussion. She studied plants and ecosystems, not physics or medicine, but she understood something important about life. What about all of us together? She asked. Humans work better as a team. Maybe our combined neural activity could generate enough quantum interference. The idea was crazy, but it was also the first real hope they had found. Instead of trying to overpower the crystal device, they could try to confuse it, give it more information than it could process. We would need to link our neural implants, Hiram said. Create a shared network. It's never been tried before. Because it's dangerous, Sunho warned. Neural linking can cause permanent brain damage. If something goes wrong, we could all end up brain dead. Communications specialist Ayun Seo looked up from her station. She had been monitoring Velnari transmissions. They're getting curious about our lack of response, she reported. I'm detecting increased activity from their ship. Captain Lee made a decision. How long would you need to set up the neural linking? 6 hours minimum, Hiram replied. Maybe 8. Do it, he ordered. Everyone who's willing to volunteer, step forward. Every single person in the room stepped forward. Even the ones who weren't scientists or engineers. Everyone was willing to risk their lives to save Minji. As the team began preparing for the most dangerous experiment in human history, Minji felt something she hadn't expected. Hope. Not because the plan was likely to work, but because her crewmates refused to abandon her. The Velnari had collected 47 species over 2 centuries. But they had never faced humans before. And humans, Minji realized, were very different from other species. They didn't know when to quit. Dr. Hiram Choi stared at the quantum readings on her screen. The numbers made no sense according to everything she knew about physics. But the evidence was right in front of her. This is impossible, she muttered for the 10th time. Dr. Minji Park was getting weaker. 36 hours had passed since the crystal device attached to her arm. The bioglue was glowing brighter now, pulsing like a heartbeat. Every pulse drew more life energy from her body. But something strange was happening too. The quantum scanner showed that Minji's brain was creating effects that shouldn't exist. When she felt strong emotions, reality itself seemed to bend around her. "Show me the readings again," Medical Officer Sun Ho-yoon said. Hyerim pulled up the data from the last 6 hours. "Look at this pattern. Every time Minji experiences hope, determination, or anger, her neural implant creates quantum fluctuations. The effects are small, but they're definitely real." "Other species don't do this?" Captain Donghyun Lee asked. "Not according to our database," Sun Ho replied. "Most alien minds work on pure logic. Their thoughts are organized and predictable. Human consciousness is chaotic. We have emotions, dreams, irrational hopes. Maybe that chaos creates quantum effects." Chief Engineer Woo Jin Kim was building the neural linking equipment. It looked like a crown made of wires and crystals. Each crew member would wear one to connect their minds together. "How many people do we need?" he asked. "Everyone," Hiram said. "The quantum effects grow exponentially with more minds involved. If my calculations are correct, we need the entire crew to generate enough interference." Navigation Officer Kyungmin Park was monitoring the Velnari ship. The aliens were getting impatient. They had sent 3 messages demanding a response. "They want to know our decision," he reported. "Cut off her arm or watch her die." "Tell them we need more time to decide," Captain Lee ordered. Lieutenant Jisoo Han sent a diplomatic message to the Velnari. She tried to make it sound like the humans were close to surrendering. The response came back quickly. "Cythera says they will give us 6 more hours," Jisoo announced. "After that, they will board our ship and take Minji by force. 6 hours. That was barely enough time to finish the neural linking equipment, let alone test it safely." Tactical Officer Yoon Ji-song volunteered to be the first test subject. She was brave and didn't like sitting around doing nothing while others worked. "If this kills me," she told Woo Jin, "at least we'll know not to risk everyone else." "It won't kill you," Woo Jin said. He hoped he was telling the truth. The neural crown looked uncomfortable. Thin wires touched specific points on Unji's head. When Woo Jin activated the device, her eyes went wide. "I can feel Minji's thoughts," she whispered. "Her fear, her determination. It's like we're sharing the same mind." The quantum scanners went crazy. The readings showed interference patterns unlike anything in their database. More importantly, the crystal device on Minji's arm flickered, just for a moment, but it definitely reacted. "It's working," Hyerim said excitedly. "The combined neural activity is disrupting the bioglue's quantum stability." Dr. Yuna Lim put on the second neural crown. As soon as her mind joined the link, the effects doubled. The crystal device flickered again, longer this time. "I can feel both of them," Yuna said. "Their thoughts are mixing with mine. It's beautiful and terrifying." Security Chief Min Ho Kang was next. He was a tough man who rarely showed emotion. But when his mind joined the neural link, tears came to his eyes. "So this is what it's like to truly understand someone," he said. Each new person who joined the link made the effects stronger. The quantum interference grew more powerful. The crystal device began showing visible cracks along its surface. But something else was happening too. The humans were starting to think as one mind. Their individual personalities remained, but their thoughts were connected in ways that felt completely natural. Communications specialist Dayun Seo was monitoring alien transmissions when she joined the link. Suddenly she gasped. "The Velnari ship," she said. "Something's wrong with their communications. They're experiencing interference." "And what kind of interference?" Captain Lee asked. "I'm not sure." "Their signals are becoming chaotic, like static mixed with emotional noise." Hiram checked her readings and found something incredible. The human neural link wasn't just affecting the crystal device. It was broadcasting quantum effects into space. The chaotic nature of human consciousness was interfering with Velnari technology. Their hive mind operates on organized thought patterns, she realized. But human emotions create quantum noise that disrupts their mental connections. This was an unexpected discovery. The Velnari were vulnerable to human consciousness in ways they never expected. More crew members joined the neural link. Each addition made the effects stronger. The crystal device was now showing major structural damage. Cracks spread across its surface like a spider web. But Minji was getting weaker. The device was fighting back by draining her life energy faster. Her skin was pale and her breathing was shallow. We're running out of time, Sunho warned. Her vital signs are critical. Sergeant Jamin O put on a neural crown despite his fear of the unknown. As soon as his mind joined the link, he felt something that changed him forever. Complete unity with his crewmates. No secrets, no lies, no barriers between souls. This is what we're fighting for, he said. Not just Minji's life. This connection. This understanding. The Velnari sent another message. This time Sever sounded angry and confused. What are you doing to our ship? The translation came through. Stop this interference immediately, Captain Lee smiled. For the first time since the crisis began, they had an advantage. Tell her we're just thinking, he ordered. Jisoo. Humans think differently than other species. Botanist Dr. Yuna Lim made an important observation while connected to the neural link. The crystal device isn't just studying Minji's biology, she said. It's trying to understand human consciousness, but our minds are too chaotic for it to process. Like trying to solve an equation with infinite variables. Hiram agreed. The device can't adapt to something it can't predict. 23 crew members were now linked together. The quantum effects were becoming visible to the naked eye. The air around Minji seemed to shimmer. The crystal device was vibrating and making high-pitched sounds, but they still needed more power. The molecular bonds were weakening but not breaking. They needed everyone. All hands to the medical bay, Captain Lee announced over the ship's communication system. This is our moment. We either save Minji together or we lose her forever. The remaining crew members came running. Engineers, technicians, cooks, maintenance workers. Everyone who lived and worked on the Resilience. They didn't all understand the science, but they understood what mattered. One of their own was in danger. That was enough. As the final neural crowns were activated and the last minds joined the link, something extraordinary happened. 47 human consciousnesses became one unified force. Not a hive mind like the Velnari, but something entirely new. A harmony of individual souls choosing to work together. The crystal device began to scream. The crystal device was screaming. Not with sound, but with energy waves that made everyone's teeth ache. Dr. Minji Park felt the bioglue fighting against the neural link with desperate fury. 47 human minds were connected now, and their combined consciousness was tearing the alien technology apart. Quantum coherence at 93%, Dr. Hiram Choi announced. Her voice sounded strange because she was speaking for the entire crew at once. The molecular bonds are destabilizing. Captain Donghyun Lee felt every thought and emotion of his crew through the neural link. Fear, hope, determination, love, all mixed together into something more powerful than any weapon. But he also felt Minji's pain as the device fought back by draining her life faster. Hull breach detected, Navigation Officer Kyungmin Park reported. The Velnari are boarding us. Through the ship's internal sensors, the crew could see insectoid warriors moving through the corridors. They carried weapons that looked like living creatures. Biotechnology designed to capture rather than kill. They want to stop the neural link, Lieutenant Jisuhan realized. They know we're close to freeing her. Security Chief Minho Kang tried to coordinate a defense, but it was hard to focus on military tactics while his mind was connected to 46 other people. The neural link made them stronger, but it also made them vulnerable. I'll handle this, Sergeant Jamino said. He forced himself to think like an individual soldier while staying connected to the group mind. It was like trying to swim upstream in a river of consciousness. Jamin took 5 security officers with him. They moved through the ship's corridors to intercept the Velnari warriors. The aliens were fast and coordinated, but they weren't expecting human tactics. The first group of Velnari moved like a single organism. Perfect coordination, no wasted motion. But humans were unpredictable. Jamin's team used that chaos as a weapon. They split up, attacked from unexpected angles, and made decisions that didn't follow logical patterns. The Velnari couldn't adapt fast enough. Their hive mind was too organized to deal with human randomness. Back in the medical bay, the crystal device was showing massive structural damage. Cracks covered its entire surface. The blue light was flickering like a dying star, but Minji was dying too. Her life signs were critical. The device was pouring all its remaining energy into draining her before the humans could free her. We need more power, Chief Engineer Woo Jin Kim said through the neural link. The bonds are weakening, but not fast enough. Medical Officer Sun Ho Yoon was monitoring Minji's vital signs. Heart rate dropping. Blood pressure critical. She has maybe 10 minutes left. Communications specialist Da-Hyun Seo was listening to Velnari transmissions. What she heard was terrifying and wonderful at the same time. Their ship is in chaos, she reported. The hive mind is breaking down. Our emotional broadcasts are causing system failures throughout their vessel. The neural link wasn't just affecting the crystal device. Human consciousness was like a virus in the Velnari computer systems. Their technology couldn't handle the chaotic quantum signatures of 47 emotional minds thinking together. Cythera's voice came through the communication system. For the first time, she sounded afraid. "Stop this madness," she demanded. "Your species is causing damage beyond your understanding. The hive mind cannot process your chaotic thoughts." "Good," Captain Lee replied through Jisu's equipment. "Maybe next time you'll think twice before kidnapping humans." Tactical Officer Yoon Ji-song felt something change in the neural link. The crew's determination was reaching a critical mass. Like a star about to explode, their combined will was becoming something that could reshape reality itself. "Everyone focus on one thought," she said. "Minji is free. The device cannot hold her. We refuse to accept any other outcome." 47 minds focused on a single idea. Not hope or wish, but absolute certainty. They didn't believe Minji would be freed. They knew it as a fact that hadn't happened yet. The crystal device began to crack more rapidly. The quantum effects were visible now as distortions in the air. Space itself was bending around the medical bay. But the Velnari warriors were getting closer. Jaemin's team was fighting well, but they were outnumbered. The aliens would reach the medical bay soon. "I can't disconnect now," Woojin said. "If I leave the neural link to fight them, we'll lose the quantum coherence." Dr. Yuna Lim had an idea. "What if we don't fight them? What if we include them?" "Include them how?" Captain Lee asked. "The neural link is broadcasting quantum effects. If the Velnari get close enough, their minds might be caught in the field. Their hive mind could become part of our network." It was a crazy idea, but they were out of time and options. The first Velnari warrior reached the medical bay. It raised its bioweapon to fire at the neural linking equipment. But as soon as it entered the room, something strange happened. The alien's movements became confused. Its multiple eyes flickered with an expression that looked almost human. For a moment, it experienced individual thought instead of hive mind unity. "What is happening to me?" it asked in perfect English without using a translator. More warriors entered the room. Each one was affected by the human neural field. Their shared consciousness was being infected with human emotions. Fear, curiosity, wonder, things the Velnari had never felt as individuals. "We are separate," one warrior whispered. "I am myself." The effect was spreading through the Velnari ship. Every alien within range of the quantum broadcast was experiencing individuality for the first time. Their hive mind was fragmenting into thousands of separate personalities. Cythera's voice came through the communications again. This time she sounded panicked. "What have you done to us? We cannot think as one. The collective is broken." Minji felt the crystal device losing its grip on her arm. The bioglue was still attached, but the molecular bonds were dissolving, like ice melting in warm water. "It's working," she gasped. "I can feel it letting go." But her life signs were flatlining. The device was using its last energy to kill her rather than let her escape. A final act of spite from dying technology. "No," Captain Lee said through the neural link. "We've come too far to lose her now." He made a decision that would change everything. Instead of just maintaining the neural link, he opened his mind completely. Every memory, every emotion, every part of his consciousness, he gave it all to save one of his crew. "Sir, that's dangerous," Sunho warned. "Complete neural sharing could destroy your personality." "Then that's the price," Lee replied. One by one, the other crew members made the same choice. They opened their minds fully to the neural link. Not just sharing thoughts, but sharing souls. The quantum effects exploded outward like a supernova of consciousness. The crystal device didn't just crack. It shattered completely, turning to dust in seconds. Minji's arm came free, but the real miracle was what happened to everyone else. For one perfect moment, 47 humans experienced complete unity. Not the forced conformity of a hive mind, but the chosen harmony of individuals who cared more about each other than themselves. And in that moment, they became something new. Something the galaxy had never seen before. Something that would change the universe forever. The crystal device crumbled to powder in Dr. Minji Park's hand. After 70 hours of molecular bondage, her arm was finally free. She flexed her fingers and felt strength returning to her body. The alien bioglue that should have been impossible to break was nothing but dust on the medical bay floor. But something far more important had happened. 47 human minds had touched something beyond individual consciousness. They had become one soul with many voices, and that unity had rewritten the laws of physics through pure force of will. Captain Dongyun Lee felt the neural link slowly fading as the equipment powered down. The complete connection was too intense to maintain for long, but echoes of it remained. He could still sense his crew's emotions, their thoughts, their unbreakable bonds with each other. "Status report," he said, though he already knew the answer through the fading link. "The crystal device is completely destroyed," Dr. Hierim Choi announced. "Quantum readings are returning to normal." "But sir, what we just accomplished, it shouldn't be possible according to any known science." Medical Officer Sun Ho Yoon was checking Minji's vital signs. "She's stabilizing, heart rate improving, blood pressure normalizing. Whatever that device was doing to her, the effects are reversing." The Velnari warriors in the medical bay were still confused. Their hive-mind connection was slowly returning, but they had been forever changed by experiencing individual consciousness. They looked at the humans with something that might have been respect. "You have broken the unbreakable," one warrior said. "This has never happened before in all our centuries of collection." Communications specialist Dahyun Seo was monitoring transmissions from the Velnari ship. What she heard made everyone stop what they were doing. "Their entire fleet is retreating," she announced. "All ships are leaving the system immediately." Sithra's voice came through the communications system one final time. She no longer sounded like a confident predator. She sounded afraid. "What are you?" she asked. "We have studied thousands of species across the galaxy. We have never encountered minds like yours. You think as individuals but act as one. You refuse to accept logical defeat. You change reality through will alone." Captain Lee stepped forward. "We're human. We don't give up when someone we care about is in danger." "Humans." Cythera repeated the word like she was tasting something bitter. "We will remember this name. We will warn all Velnari to avoid your species. You are dangerous." "Only to those who threaten us," Lee replied. There was a long pause before Cythera spoke again. "The hegemony of worlds will be informed. A new entry will be added to the galactic database. Species designation human, classification do not engage. Reason impossible." The transmission ended. Long-range sensors showed the Velnari fleet jumping to faster than light speed. They were running away as fast as their ships could carry them. Lieutenant Jisoo Han was already composing a report for Earth Command. "How do I explain what happened here? How do I tell them that we broke unbreakable alien technology through the power of human stubbornness?" "Tell them the truth," Minji said. She was sitting up now, her strength returning with every minute. "We refused to accept defeat. We chose to work together. And when 47 humans decide something is going to happen, reality bends to make it so." Chief Engineer Woojin Kim was studying the remains of the crystal device. Under his microscope, the dust showed impossible molecular structures that had somehow existed in stable form. The bioglue was held together by quantum forces that require a shared consciousness to maintain, he explained. The Velnari hive mind provided that stability. But when we disrupted their mental network with our chaotic thoughts, the device couldn't maintain its molecular bonds. Dr. Yuna Lim was thinking about the bigger implications. "We didn't just free Minji. We accidentally discovered that human consciousness can interfere with alien technology. That makes us dangerous to any species that uses shared mental networks." Tactical Officer Yoon Ji-song understood the military significance. "The Velnari won't be the only ones who see us as a threat. Any hive mind species will consider us dangerous. Our thoughts are like weapons to them." Security Chief Min Ho Kang was already planning defensive strategies. "We need to warn Earth. This could change everything about how humans interact with alien species." But Navigation Officer Kyungmin Park had spotted something else on the long-range sensors. "We're not alone out here. Other ships are approaching. Multiple species." The communication board lit up with incoming messages. Dozens of alien species were trying to contact the Resilients. Word was spreading fast about what had happened. "Universal Translator is working overtime," Jisoo reported. "I'm getting messages in 43 different languages. They all want to know the same thing. How did humans break Velnari biotechnology?" Captain Lee realized that humanity had just announced itself to the galaxy in a very dramatic way. They hadn't just made first contact with one species. They had shown every alien civilization that humans were something new and unpredictable. "What's our status for getting home?" he asked. "Engines are fine," Wu Jin replied. "But sir, I don't think we should leave yet. These alien messages, some of them are offers of alliance, others are warnings. The galaxy is about to become very interested in humanity." Dr. Choi was still analyzing the quantum data from their experiment. "Captain, I think we need to understand what we've become before we go back to Earth. The neural link changed us. We're still human, but we're also something more." She was right. The crew could feel it. They were still individuals with their own personalities and thoughts. But underneath that, they shared a connection that hadn't existed before. They were 47 people who had touched the same soul. Minji stood up and walked to the viewing port. Outside, she could see stars that no human had ever seen before. But more importantly, she could see alien ships approaching, some friendly, some curious, some probably hostile. The Velnari collected 47 species over 2 centuries, she said. They thought humans would be just another addition to their collection. They were wrong. Sergeant Jimino was checking weapon systems, but his heart wasn't in it. After experiencing the neural link, the idea of fighting seemed less important than the idea of understanding. "What happens now?" he asked. Captain Lee looked around the medical bay at his crew. His family, the people who had risked everything to save one person because that's what humans do. "Now we explore," he said. "We learn. We make friends with species who want to be friends, and we protect ourselves from those who don't. And if someone tries to collect us again?" Communications specialist Dayun Seo asked. Minji flexed her freed hand and smiled, the same hand that had been trapped by supposedly unbreakable alien technology. The hand that was free because 47 humans had refused to accept the impossible. "They'll learn what the Velnari learned," she said. "We don't break. We don't surrender. When someone threatens our family, we become something that can change the universe itself." Dr. Choi pulled up the final readings from their quantum experiment. The data showed something that would keep scientists busy for decades. Human consciousness, when unified by choice rather than force, could literally reshape reality. "The galaxy is about to discover that humans are not like other species," she announced. "We don't just adapt to the universe. When necessary, we make the universe adapt to us." Outside the viewing port, more alien ships were arriving. Some came as friends, others as potential enemies. But all of them came because they had heard an impossible story. A story about a species that refused to give up. A species that could break unbreakable bonds through will alone. A species that chose unity without losing individuality. A species called human. Captain Lee opened a channel to Earth Command. "This is the Resilience," he said. "Mission status. Success beyond all expectations. We've made contact with multiple alien species, and we've learned something important about ourselves." "What did you learn?" came the reply from Earth. Lee looked at his crew. His family, the people who had shown him what it truly meant to be human. "We learned that when humans decide something is impossible," he said, "we make it possible anyway. The universe would never be the same."